Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the San Francisco Giants. And we're going to jump right in. We are about 6 games away from the end of the regular season. We have a 2-game lead on the Dodgers, and second half of the season has been a grind. There's no other real way to put it. We are 27 and 34 since the beginning of July. Thank heavens for our unbelievable start, but 27 and 34 over the last 2+ months. It felt like offensively we were going in the right direction this year, but when it's all said and done, we're a middle of the pack offensive team. Hitting a few more home runs than we have in the past. We have 4 20 home run guys. Our pitching has been fine. I mean, first in runs against, we're only 6th in starters ERA. But yeah, we'll finish the regular season, then we'll take a quick look at the stats, and then we'll get to the offseason, which we are in. We have clinched a postseason berth. So we have 6 games left. We have Milwaukee, who are 82 and 74, and San Diego, who I think are in last place, right? Oh, no, they're 73 and 83. All right, and the Dodgers have Milwaukee. No, that's not right. The Dodgers have – that's Milwaukee. The Dodgers have Austin and St. Louis. So Austin is the former Washington Senators. They're 74 and 82. And St. Louis is – they leading the Central? They are, 85 and 71. All right. So let's get in then, and let's get to some simming and see if we can finish strong. Robert Gasser has been fantastic, by the way, since we picked him up. He's only 2-3, but he's got a sub-3 ERA, 158 ERA plus. He's been great. Taking on his former team here, and game 1 is a 7-5 victory. Rafaela, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Shawnoel, Lewis, and Gutierrez, each with 2 hits. Gasser goes 6. Sprash blows the save, but gets the win. Neely with his 40th save. Jordan Hicks now against Shane Baz. It's an 11-8 win. So our offense picking it up here the last couple games of the regular season. Royce Lewis, 2 for 3, 3 RBIs. And he ended up having a typical Royce Lewis season. I mean, it was down a little because the on-base percentage was way down. He only walked 30 times this year. But ultimately, he was fine. Tristan Cassius hits his 26th home run. Shawnoel hits his 25th. Baz goes 3. Starting pitching, not really getting it done the first 2 games of the series. And now we got the reigning Cy Young winner going against our young international guy. We still only have a 2-game lead, so the Dodgers have stuck with us. We lose 5-3. They're only a game back now. So we have San Diego. They have St. Louis. 7-0 loss. We're still up by a game. That was Kyle Harrison, and Kyle has not been good in his last 3 starts. 15 earned runs in his last 10 1/3. Yamamoto, we need a win here. We don't get one. All right, so we lose 6-4. We are still a game up on the Dodgers. Can we win the final game of the season and finish with 93 wins? No, we get swept by the San Diego Padres, which leaves us in a first-place tie, which means I think we are going to have to play in the we're going to have to play in the wild card. No, I think we are the wild card team. Yep, that sucks. That absolutely sucks. That was just an awful, awful, awful end of the regular season. 25, 29, and 38, 29 and 38 in our final 60 some odd games. All right. So playoff roster, eligible for playoffs. For some reason it's taken Cisneros off there, which, I mean, is there a pitcher? Yeah, Gavin Stone can come off. Cisneros can come in. So we're going to have to go Baz. Yeah, Gasser's going to have to be the odd man out here. And we will bench him for 5 days just to be safe. We're going to go with a 3-man rotation. And it'll be Baz, Harrison, Yamamoto. All right, so I would take a quick look at the stats. So Yamamoto finished 14-9. That ERA got down to 3.82, 5.5 WAR. Harrison was good. I mean, I got no complaints about his numbers, but when you're paying him $50 million a year, you expect more than 17 and 19 over a 2-year window. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what the plan is gonna be here. So, I mean, we're paying him $50 million. My guess is he'll stay. He'll opt in because it's $50 million, but we'll see. Robert Gasser, just as I tell you guys, he was good. He sucked it up in his last start, but overall he was really good for us. Shane Baz had a good year, 2.1 WAR. ERA was a bit high. I don't know, 4.08. It's not terrible. I don't know if it's worth $10 million, but it wasn't terrible. Cisneros, I mean, okay. He got way too many home runs. He got 30 home runs. That movement at a 50. I don't know. Again, he struggles against righties or against lefties because he's a sidearm guy. That probably has something to do with it. But Isaiah Campbell, our bullpen was really good, as we expected them to be. We'll just have to lean on them here in the postseason as well. Offensively, Shawnuel, another good year for us. 2 straight 4 WAR seasons. Everything was down a little. His slugging was up. He had 27 home runs. Royce Lewis, 3.9 WAR. Rafaela had a good year, 22 home runs. We didn't steal many bases. We were last in the National League in steals. Tristan Cassius, 26 home runs, 80 RBIs. He had a good year. Gutierrez was fine in the outfield. I mean, as corner outfielders go, he's not giving you enough offense. But, I mean, really, really good out in center this year. Figueroa, 18 home runs in what was his first year with us. He's likely our starting third baseman next year. My hope is that Nolan Jones opts out. His demand is 4 at 20. So my hope is that he opts out of his contract. If not, we're probably going to move him to get that money off the books either way. Dylan Carlson was fine, below average with the bat, but did hit 11 home runs and was really good out and left. Wyatt Sanford got some additional playing time this year, was fine. Josa, that average cratered in the second half of the season. $125 in July, 218 in August, 150 in September. We may go to Sanford defensively in the playoffs, and then O'Neill and Aaron Bede were, varying levels of suck. And Morel, hit for a lot of power, hit 6 home runs and 100 at bats, but only hit $188. And these ratings didn't really seem to stick. I mean, against lefties, he was 11 for 66. I don't know. So from a lineup perspective, do I want to go Sanford at second? I mean, he's much better defensively. Gave us a 688 OPS. Josa gave us a 705 OPS, and he's not as good defensively. He was a negative value defense. Oh yeah, he was really bad. All right, we're gonna go Sanford at second. We're gonna shift the lineup around a little bit. Shift the lineup around a bit. Obviously, we're not going to bat Wyatt Sanford cleanup. I don't want to go lefty, though. That kind of sucks. I think we'll bat Rafaela cleanup. I mean, he led our team in home runs, right? Or 20 to 22, so he's tied for third, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and change all of these to never. I could just get rid of the bench as well, but not going to do that. We'll just, in fact, let's do it this way. And now we can go in because I don't want Hinojosa as the defensive replacement. I do want Figueroa in as our defensive replacement for Nolan Jones. We don't need a defensive replacement for any of our outfielders. They're all really good defensively. Against righties, we'll do the same thing. Oh, it just screwed up the entire lineup. Damn it. All right. Copy. I hit the wrong button. Paste. All right. So we have Shawnuel batting leadoff, Cassius, Rafaela, Jones, Carlson. We'll do that. Gutierrez, Carlson. And then depth chart is what I wanted to change. Never Never. Let's get Hinojosa out of there. Never. And never. All right, so I don't know who we're taking on. All right, so some of these guys don't want to. Yeah, I offered contracts to all of my minor leaguers, and some of them aren't interested. So, all right, so Atlanta, 92-70 for the Braves. They're going to go Lopez, Taj, Bradley, Landon, Knack as their three starters. Offensively, I mean, Nacho Alvarez. That's a fantastic name. I don't know if he's a real player, but if he is, that's a great name. Acuna still ticking away, 315, 29, and 103. Austin Riley hitting another 30 home runs. Matt Olson at age 36. Wow, he's been good. He has been good. Ozzy Albies had a nice season for them. Lars Nootbaar playing left field for Atlanta these days. Cool. All right, well, let's see if we can win a playoff series or if it's going to be another season that ends in disappointment. San Francisco pitching. Shane Baz will start on opening day. Or not on opening day, but game one. I believe, right? Harrison won't be. Oh, he is rested. So we're going to go Harrison, Yamamoto, and then Baz. So we'll go with our ace. So it'll be Kyle Harrison, Pablo Lopez in game one. And we win 2-1. Cassius with a home run. Harrison gives us 6 innings of one-hit ball. That'll play. And now we've got Yamamoto going in game 2. Series is tied at 1. We lose 6-3. I fully anticipate we lose game 3, and we will be down and out. Matt Olson hits the 3-run homer. Nolan Jones drives in 3. Yamamoto only goes 4 2/3. So it'll be Taj Bradley against Shane Baz, game 3. Yep. Okay. I'm not sure what the answer is here, guys. I really don't know. Winning 90 games, getting to the playoffs isn't an issue for us. We made the World Series in our first season. From there, it's been a bit of a mess. We have won the division a handful of times. We've made the playoffs 5 straight years. But yeah, I mean, it's been a successful regular season for us. We just haven't been able to figure it out in the postseason. Well, we're going to go to the off season here. Good Kyle Hurt is hurt. We don't need him. Go to the end of the playoffs. Bunch of players retiring. Yankees, Rangers, Phillies, Cardinals. At least the Orioles didn't make it for the first time in forever. So I really don't know what to do. I mean, I feel like we continue to have the best pitching staff in baseball year after year after year. And I felt like our offense was good enough last season. The Nolan Jones slippage didn't help. Oh, look who led the American League in batting. And look who led the American League in home runs. Wow. Okay. Well, this one, chalk this up to a trade that didn't work out for us. That's concerning. Somebody told me in one of the videos that I should have given Bryce Eldridge a chance, and it looks like you may have been right. He voided his contract. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and buy out Nolan Jones. That I did not expect. That I did not expect at all. I mean, I think we got to let him go, right? No, big changes coming in San Francisco this upcoming season, it appears, as we are going to lose Kyle Harrison. I did not anticipate that at all. New budget, payroll of $190 million. Coaches retire. We don't have a top 10 prospect. Where's our minor league system? '11th. Flores Fennel, who was our top pick a year ago, and he was quite good in his 4 starts. Harrington, still struggling with the bat. He was okay pitching. And Staley, who was our other, he was that high ceiling guy. Or high floor guy, rather. And he was good too. All right, well, here we go. Life without Kyle Harrison. Had I thought for a second that he was going to opt out, I would have looked to move him. But we're going to offer him a qualifying offer, of course. He's 29 years old. He wants an 8-year, $431 million contract, and I'm not doing that. So he's going to move on. That will allow us to bring back Gasser, though. That's more than I want to pay him. So we'll just go with 1 year for now. 10.5. Can we offer him 1 year at 10? Well, that's interesting. Wasn't expecting that. Wasn't expecting that at all. Gavin Stone, we will withdraw his offer. Gutierrez at 3. I don't want to give him that much, but okay. Feels like a reasonable contract to his age 31 season. If nothing else, he ends up as our 4th outfielder. 6 years, $40 million for Gutierrez is fine, I think, as a 25-year-old. Lice wants 1.2. Yeah, I certainly didn't think that that Harrison would opt out of that deal. Didn't anticipate that at all. I mean, we could bring him back, but that would just hamstring any other moves that we're going to make, and I'm not prepared to do that. So maybe the sum of the parts is greater than the whole. I don't know. That'll allow us to bring back some of these other players. We will bring back Waldrop. He wants 5, so 4,750. Jack Neely wants 3.2. We should be able to give him 3. Hers wants 4. I guess that's okay. I'm not really willing to pay a reliever much more than that. 3,800. 2.8 for Campbell. Well worth it. 265. Oh, 2.7. And then Hurt is, I think Hurt ends up as a starter next year, so 650. Yep. Yeah, he may end up a starter next season. He still wants 420. I want to offer Jones a qualifying offer too, but I'm afraid he's going to take it. What does Brash want as an extension? 3 years at 20. No. All right. Well, that was a little unexpected, honestly. So it looks like we're going to look different this year. All right. Time for international amateurs. Oh, wow. Bad pitching pool. Looks like we're going heavy into the offense. Jean-Francois Brochard, 16-year-old elite catcher. Yes, sir. This is going to be all batters, it looks like, so we may as well just go heavy after all the top ones here. Ooh, I like David Peraza. They don't. Yeah, I mean, only wants 1.1, so that tells me maybe that they might be sleeping on him. I like Gunston. Morales. Elizondo. How many is that? Hate it when it does this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dia 6. Peraza 7. Gloria 8. 9. And yep, Vega 10. All right. All right, so we're going to lose Kyle Harrison. So we're going to take a big fan interest bump there. We get a fan interest bump for Kyle Hurt, which is nice. We get one for Robert Gasser, which is nice. We get one for Anthony Gutierrez, which is nice. Brings us up to an 88. That's gonna fall once we get to free agency and we lose Kyle Harrison. All right, so Gold Glove. They're AL Gold Glove winners. In the NL, nothing for us. Reliever Jackson Jobe in the NL. In the NL, it's Isaiah Campbell. So we get a reliever of the year award. Bit of a surprise, but I'll take it. Again, that's why we don't pay relievers a lot of money. Kyle Manzardo wins the. Holy hell! There's no way. When did we trade him? $7-11 of 28. Excuse me. Scouting 7 of 28. So right in here. Yeah, I mean his eye spiked, and his power went up. But no, his power had gone up before we traded him. Wow. Okay. Well, that's rough. And then, yeah, Platinum Stick. Shawnuel wins it at DH. Paredes wins it at third. We've had some good players. They just haven't been able to perform as well in San Francisco as they have in other places. Sebastian Walcott, Rookie of the Year in the AL. Johnny Horlacker in the NL, 52 home runs. Aaron Boone, Manager of the Year in the AL. Bob Henley in the NL. Cy Young, Bobby Miller in the AL. And Spencer Strider, now of the Cardinals, wins it in the National League. MVP Bobby Witt in the AL, and in the National League, Isaac Paredes. Paredes and then Jazz Chisholm, really? The Phillies had 1 and 2 in the MVP awards? Interesting. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll map out the plan, and then I'll pause and then sim ahead to winter meetings or Rule 5 or whatever. All right. We got to do international amateurs. Run our practice to arbitration. Wow. I think the Eldridge one is more shocking to me than anything else. Interesting. All right. Well, let's get through arbitration. And we lose Kyle Harrison. No, not a surprise there. Let's get to free agency and see what options we have. All right, international free agents first. He's a reliever. He's a reliever. What does he want? Yep, I'm not paying a reliever $12 million. Not doing it. And the free agent class, obviously headlined by Kyle Harrison. But there are some other names on here that we can use to fill some spots. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is on the list. So let's take a look and see what we need. Let's go to our 5-man rotation. So it's going to be Yamamoto, Gasser, Baz, and Cisneros, and right now Hurt. So yeah, we definitely could use a starter. Let's look at let's look at AAA. See who we want to bring up. So I think Bolivar will start in AA, but all 3 of these players will come to AAA. Bobby Staley was our 2nd-round pick a year ago. Yeah, I don't know that I don't know that these guys are quite ready yet. I think, unless one of them gets a big bump here in the offseason, I think AAA, and then next year they will move up. So this might be a bridge season, as they say, for the San Francisco Giants. We'll see. So it'll be Yamamoto, Gasser, Baz, Cisneros, and Hurt. So we definitely need some relief help. Offensively, we are what we are. Figueroa will be our starting third baseman. And, that's really it. If we can find an upgrade someplace, we'll probably take it. This is our offense right now. So let's see what is available. All these guys want are comp picks, and I don't necessarily care about that. Wow, Jet Williams is good. That's not a bad contract. We could sign Jet Williams and we could sign a pitcher. Mason Miller out on the free agent market again. Pitchers are demanding a lot of money. Collier doesn't want a lot. We can probably offer him. Let's offer him a 3-year contract. He was good in his last run through with us. I like the idea of offering Jet Williams, sticking him at second base. I don't want to give him 8 years, though. I'll give him 5. We'll make, let's see, we will make this 20. Make this 30. No, let's make this 35. Is that what I want to do? If he can give us that, he's worth it. What have his offensive numbers looked like? He's basically been a 3 to 5 win player. I'm okay giving him a shorter deal. So if we give him 5, we do 5, and we do this at 30. We do this at 30. This at 25. This at 20. Wants a longer deal. All right. Oh, he wants more money. So, I mean, if we just give him that, bump that to 32. Bump that to 25. That. Okay. I will take that. 5 years, $128 million for a 27-year-old Jet Williams. He would immediately become our leadoff hitter, second baseman. He's very good at second, got a ton of speed. He becomes our top of the order hitter. Miguel Vargas. He wants $22 million. Nope. I don't want to get too sidetracked here. Jesus Rodriguez. He wants 9.5 as a catcher who can run. How long of a deal does he want? Just out of curiosity. 3 years, okay. And then pitchers. So we have about say $30 million to spend because we may get into a bit of a bidding war for Jet Williams. So we'll just sort of have to see. Michael King wants 26. Ty Madden, 24. I mean, can we get into the Yamamoto bidding for like 3 years at 35? Can we get into it for something like that? Or is he going to demand more? He wants more years and more money. What about Strider? He wants 40. I mean, there's no way he takes this, right? No. Yeah, so Harrison's now down to, like, this is absurd. Okay, so let's go 6 with an opt-out after year 3. Back that down to 37. Put this at 35. Put this at 32. Okay, sure. 6 years, $211 million for Spencer Strider. Okay, I mean, it leaves us with like no money for free agents, but from a salary perspective, Cassius is a free agent next year. What does he want to come back? I mean, we can make it work. I mean, that's not an unreasonable contract. I'm probably not giving him 6, but yeah, I mean, our payroll drops to $148 million next season. And of course, you add the 60 that we just put in there. So we're going to start with this. We're going to start with the contract offers to Kyle Harrison and Jet Williams. So I'll be back right around the winter meetings, and we'll kind of see how things go. I will be right back. All right. We are back at the winter meetings, and I got a trade lined up here with the New York Mets to add some pitching depth, and I'm going to show you why I need to move Carlson here in a minute. But we're going to trade Dylan Carlson, and my thought process is that, and I'll just show you now. So we signed both Kyle Harrison, so we saved $15 million this year and $13 million next season to pay Harrison an additional $135, $140 million or whatever over the next 4. So we signed him to a 6-year, $211 million deal. Kind of hope he opts out after the 3rd year. We'll see what happens. But he hasn't, I mean, a small dip in his movement, but overall still an elite pitcher. And then we also signed Jet Williams to that contract as well. So we get both contracts locked down. So that leaves us a little bit tight on money. So if we trade Carlson, that'll free up about $7 million. What I'm going to do is I called up Alec Burleson, who we had in the minor leagues last year. We just signed him as an end of the year, free agent, and he absolutely tore up AAA. So we're going to start him in left field against righties. And then we're going to give Braylon Morrell a shot against lefties. So we'll have a platoon out in left of Burleson and Morrell. We're going to move Carlson, and we're going to pick up some pitching depth. So if we go back to here, so we're going to send Dominic Fletcher, who is just another player we drafted or signed late in the offseason last year. And then Edgar Yanis, who was one of our first international guys, looks okay. Extreme ground ball, 20 years old, but still only 20 control. He's still a ways off. On an exchange, we're going to get TJ Brock. 31-year-old reliever, was slightly above average last season with the Mets, but was really good in 2029 and 2028 with Toronto. They're going to retain the entirety of his contract. We're going to get Joe Walker, who's a 25-year-old making the league minimum, and he was a 191 ERA plus guy last year, so looking forward to that. And then Jack McKernan, who's just some pitching depth in case somebody gets hurt. I want to make sure we have another pitcher at AAA. So can we get them to retain Walker's contract as well? No. All right, that's fine. We'll retain the $720,000. So this will improve our money by $6.2 million. We're going to trade off Dylan Carlson, bring back some pitchers, which is good because that means now that we don't have to spend money on pitchers, right? So where did they put McKernan? Did they stick him in AAA? Where is he? He is in A-ball. Okay. He's here somewhere. There he is. Move him up to AAA. And we will lock that down. All right, so from a pitching perspective now, we've got 14 players on our major league roster. In the minor leagues, we've got Burgess, Maldonado. Kellner is depth. We got a couple of older guys as depth. Rainiel Duran is another arm that we could call up if needed. In fact, he's not Rule 5 eligible, so there's no reason to do anything with him yet. But then we got McKernan. And then from a lineup perspective, it'll be Morrell against lefties out in left and Burleson against righties in left. So I think that's all we need to do, and we can now kind of bump this up a little bit more. Bump that to 18, bump this to 27. Again, it doesn't leave us with much money, but loyalty's up to a 94, so I think now's a good time to bump ticket prices, $43.25. Any other salaries we want to move? I mean, Gasser's, we will likely get a comp pick for him next year if we just keep him and let him go, but he wants, that's not what I wanted to do. He wanted like $24 million or something. Yeah, 24 for 6. I want to make sure. I want to see kind of how Cassius's season plays out, because at 2.7 WAR, if he hits 25 and 80, I don't know that he's worth the $20 million that he's asking for. 26. I don't know that he's worth $150 million over 6 years. Maybe a little bit less than that. Maybe a few years less than that. He's still really, really good against righties. But I think, because I looked at the trade block, there's not really anybody here. I mean, there's some good play. Corbin Carroll is obviously, he's on the trade block and he's about as good as you're going to get. But yeah, we wouldn't be able to trade for him. That's not much else here that really, Ryan Clifford looks okay. I think Burleson can give us similar performance, or at least that's the hope. And then pitcher-wise, a couple of good pitchers up there as well, but nothing that I want to throw an abundance of finances at, I guess. So, I think we just sim up to the Rule 5. So we'll get up to Rule 5. We'll see if there are any moves to be made there. If not, I'll go right up to international amateurs. So we'll get through the Rule 5. I'll pause and then, yeah, so hopefully this off-season video won't be 2 hours long like some of the other ones have been, or an hour and a half long. Keep it a little bit shorter than that. This still bothers me seeing Manzardo and Aldridge up there. And maybe it should. Maybe that's, that's my punishment for trading. Oh, that's right. We signed Colby Ayard as well. I forgot about him. Forgot that we signed him. He was good for us a couple of years ago. He gives us some depth. Yeah, I mean, he was good for a couple of years. Has been league average effectively for the last 4 seasons. But, if we use him in a spot starter role or a long relief role, he should be fine for $3 million for a year. International amateurs. Run practice. Let's get to the Rule 5. I don't think we're going to need to do anything in the Rule 5. We lost Gavin Stone. I don't care. So I like the fact that Jet Williams is a righty. It not lengthens the lineup, but it makes our lineup just a little bit more even, I guess. All right. Adewale, he's really good defensively. Does anybody want him? We've got so many catchers that are good defensively. Yeah, I'm not interested in any of that. We only have one spot on the 40-man, so I don't know. Sawyer Farr and Noah Sheffield are both Rule 5 guys this season. So is William Schmidt. If I were a rebuilding team, I would go after William Schmidt. I'm going to stick him there. I don't think anybody else. Igwe, he's still a ways off, but again, a good enough player, I think, to get the nod. We'll take Kim off the 40-man and put Igwe on the 40-man. And we have 40 players on the 40-man roster now, so I don't think we're going to be able to do any. Who do we lose? We lose Davis Martin. I don't even know who that is. He must have been a Rule 5 pick of ours in 20. Oh, no, they got him in 2030. Okay, we signed him as a minor league free agent last year. I don't suspect there's going to be anybody here, but we'll look. Batters. Jose Caballero, he's in our minor league system, so we'll just leave him there. Joe Hipperdan, he was, we traded him last season. No hitters. What about pitchers? Got any extremely popular guys that have value? Seth Hernandez. Sure. I mean, is that going to help the team? Oh, no, we have 40 players on our roster. I'm not going to game it. It's fine. We don't need anybody. All right. So that is it. Who's the first player taken? Oh, we had the first 2 players taken in the Rule 5. Maybe we get Garrett back and we can use him as. We lost Kate Dowdy. We lost a whole bunch of minor league veterans that we signed. So that is fine. Our fan interest is at a 93. I'm hoping that we get the revenue per game goes up, given that our fan interest is up about 10 points from last season. But I'm going to sim now up to international amateurs. I will be back, and we'll do some international amateur stuff. I'll be right back. All right, we're back at international amateurs. We're back at international amateurs. And I was kind of looking at the players that we had scouted. And, I mean, he looks okay, but he's fragile. And I think the way I'm going to go, and tell me if you would have done anything different, but I think the way I'm going to go is I'm looking at Juan Mendoza here. $2.8 million is what he's asking for. Has the range to play center field. Will make a handful of errors because he's not particularly good. But, I mean, worst case scenario, you can make him a left fielder. But he's got 95 potential power. He was one of the options. The other one was David Padilla. And Padilla may be the way I go just because he's 18 years old. He's got far more developed skill set already for age 18, and we share a birthday. Mine is a handful of years before his. 2012. Wow. I think we're going to go Padilla. Well, we're going to offer Padilla. I can't. I got to remove players from my international complex. I don't want any 16-year-old. Well, I mean, he's filler. Send all these guys to our DSL team. My guess is that we don't get him, though, because we've got 4.7, and there are a lot of teams with 5.7. So if we offer him 4.75, my guess is that we don't get him. We will see, though. Oh, we did. Never mind. All right. So 80 power, 60 contact, 65 gap power, passable in, well, not a bad left fielder, passable and right. I'd like the arm to be a little bit better, but passable corner outfielder with just mammoth home run power. I made some moves to some of the minor leagues, shifted some players around. Bobby Staley, Danny Guerrero, Ismael Contreras, Phil Furness, Mike Baum, and Josh Parker were all moved from high A ball to double A. Staley was our second round pick a year ago. Only made 5 starts in A ball, but he looks like he could be pretty good pretty soon. Danny Guerrero, he hit really well in high A ball, 937 OPS. Great defensive catcher. Bolivar staying there. Contreras is the quote-unquote other third base prospect we have. He hit really well in high A ball as well. Furness, we're giving him another shot in double A. He wasn't great last year, but we sent him back down to high A, and he dominated. So we'll see how he does in double A this year. Mike Bohm, a 9th-round pick in 2028, is coming along nicely. Hasn't had an ERA north of 4 in any of the at any of his 4 stops. So under the radar signing there. And then Josh Parker was our other elite defensive catcher. I mean, I got no problem in like 2 years handing our catching duties over to Parker and Guerrero. And then in high A ball, we called up Eric Nelson. He was in regular A ball last year. It was fine. I mean, 66 strikeouts in 47 innings, only 30. He gave up 11 home runs. That was the problem. But high work ethic. I expect a lot out of him. 5 potentially really good pitches. Alexis Rubik, 9th-round pick in 2027. Spent the full season in A-ball, 161 Ks, 132 innings. Still a lot of home runs, but he is due. And then Harlington Sherrill, 7th-round pick in 2028. Hasn't really performed, but yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, he was slightly above average OPS, even with that line, so maybe it was a pitcher's league. So Sherrill will go to high A-ball. And then in rookie ball, we called up Eric Fennel. He made 4 starts. He was our top pick last year. Was dominant in those 4 starts. Ryudai Henry, who we moved to third base, 788 OPS in his first full season, so we called him up. Kenki O'Brien will repeat A-ball. That control needs to improve, but I think he'll get there, or at least I hope he gets there. Tim Cobb spent 3 seasons in rookie ball. It was time for him to come up. Honestly, I just missed him. Or I would have called him up last season, but he dominated as well. So he's in A-ball now. Joel Frazier, he was our 4th-round pick a year ago. Hit really well. A little overage to be in rookie ball, so we called him up to A-ball. Hanaway, nope, he was there last year. So we made a number of moves. So that's going to do it for this episode. I'm gonna sim ahead up to the beginning of the regular season, and hopefully we have the right pieces in place. Obviously, bringing back Kyle Harrison at a reduced contract is huge. We saved $15 million this year, saved $13 million next year. That pays for the majority of his age 31 season. So that's $28 million that we saved over the next 2 to pay him 37. It could age bad, but we'll see. And then obviously bringing in Jet Williams is going to be huge for the top of our lineup. Hopefully there's no real regression, a tiny bit in his contact here, but looks like he's been pretty up and down, so that might rebound. Not terribly worried about it. Even if the contact drops a little bit, the gap power, the batting eye, the glove, and the speed should cover the majority. It's only a 5-year deal, so it's not terrible. And really, the first 3 years are what I'm concerned about. So that's going to do it for this episode, guys. I will see you on opening day of year number 8. Thanks, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.